and Barack Obama with 42% of the vote. We are also watching Vermont, the state of Vermont. We called Vermont about an hour ago. The polls closed there, and we saw on the Democratic side a win for Senator Barack Obama. This was widely expected, and we had heard in some of the exit polling that he did quite well with older voters and white voters in the state of Vermont, with 58% of the vote and 23 delegates at stake. Of course, it is too early for Rhode Island and Texas, but we will watch those numbers as soon as we get them on March 4th today. The Super Tuesday 2, as a lot of people are calling it. Let's bring in Jonathan Allen right now, who's a reporter with Congressional Quarterly. He joins us live from D.C. Hey, Jonathan, we're not just talking about the race for the White House right now. We're also focusing on the states of Ohio and Texas for the congressional primaries that are going on as well.
That's right. There are a number of competitive congressional primaries. I think the ones that are probably the most fun to watch here are a Republican primary involving Ron Paul in Texas and a Democratic primary in Ohio involving Dennis Kucinich. Both of these guys were out on the presidential campaign trail, came back home to find there were some folks running against them in their House seats. I think it's most likely that both of them will win tonight, and probably by big margins, but those are kind of the fun ones to watch for the evening.
So is that going to hurt somebody like Kucinich, who's no longer, of course, in the presidential race, because his opponent is now saying, look, you spent too much time focusing on your presidential bid, and hey, by the way, you had some district issues going on.
That's certainly the argument that's being made. I think Congressman Kucinich is pretty confident going in. He's got a pretty strong base there. He's been in public office for a long time in Ohio. Voters forgave him for being on the campaign trail in 2004. I could always be wrong, but he looks like he's got an advantage heading into tonight.
And then Ron Paul, who is, by the way, still in the race. We can't forget that. And then he's dealing with his own race in Texas. Is that a sure thing for him?
Sure thing is a tough thing to say in politics, but he should be in pretty good shape. One of the things that Ron Paul did is raise a ton of money as a presidential candidate, and then he rented his donor list to his congressional campaign. Trying to go up against Ron Paul in a congressional primary with all that money that he's got available to him is a tough task.
Okay, Jonathan Allen, of course, keeping us informed that we're not only watching the race for the White House, but we're also watching some congressional primaries as well tonight. Jonathan, thanks so much.
No problem. Thank you.
And as we are watching the congressional primaries and also the presidential primaries and caucuses, excuse me, we are also watching live streaming feeds coming to us from the different campaign headquarters, and we're showing them to you in their entirety. So all you have to do is click on the right-hand side of your CNN.com live player, and you can see live streaming pictures unedited from the different campaign headquarters, like this one from the McCain headquarters in Dallas, Texas. We are also watching the Clinton campaign headquarters in Columbus, Ohio. We showed you some preliminary numbers from Ohio. It is still too close to call on the Democratic side. We'll certainly update you with those numbers on the main video screen. But we're also watching the Obama campaign headquarters in San Antonio. Most of the polls closed there at 8 o'clock Eastern time, so about 2 minutes ago, but we still have some counties closing at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So once Barack Obama does step up to that podium, you can certainly watch it live.
Nicole, thank you so much. And Nicole just mentioning that Barack Obama will be in San Antonio tonight. Earlier today, he was in Houston campaigning. Much earlier today as well, Hillary Clinton was in the state of Texas. But as you can see, Hillary Clinton